I think I even see a carp cruising down there, about 5-6 pounds by the rushes. Nothing else on the top. Muddied up, and that's always a good sign in a way. A fish can't see your float, rigs, ledges so well, but it also means there's quite a good head of stock in there, which I know anyway. It's a long narrow lake, this one, Whitepost. Lovely lilies, got to be some fish around the edge of the lilies. And the wind picks up about this swim, so I'm basically the only swim that I can sort of film in for wind, because I don't have, I have the old broken camera still. Anyway, it's a howling, blowy, windy, cold, northerly. Second or third day. I'm due to stay overnight tonight. I'm still not sure whether I'm going to stay or not, because they're giving 2 degrees above freezing here in the countryside. Anyway, let's crack on with this one first. I'm going to be using different baits here. This is the supermarket challenge. The 3 wacko baits from the supermarket. And do you know what they are? I think I have to have a lie down. I'm shocked myself. Get this one. Cooked mussels. Are they going to take it? We'll find out. Prawns. Ready to eat. Will they take it? I'm saying yes. Part of my meal tonight, if I stay overnight, is fries everywhere. It's going to be frankfurters. I'm going to try fishing with frankfurters. I've done really good with barboard. Of course I've had carp on before, loads of fish. But we're going to give it a try here. See which one we think is going to be the best bait. Which one will they turn their nose up, or will they smack their lips at? Mussels, prawns, or indeed frankfurters. All of which, if I get really hungry, I can eat myself. Now, I can either free line, which is what I normally do with prawns as well. This one's leaking. I'm glad I'm not eating this one. Margin fishing, I'm not going far. I'm going to throw them in separately. I'm going to fish, say, prawns one side, then I'm going to fish the mussels the other, so they don't get a crossover of fish, as it were. I'm trying to find out, you know, which one I do actually get the bites on. And I know for a fact frankfurters are going to work. So rig wise, I'm going to be using real small float. I'll show it to you here. Locked either side. It's got a number 4 one side and the BB the other. It's camouflage. I think it's one of Bill Rushmer's ones, I think. Like a little sort of bodied stick float, I'm going to call it, for margin fishing. Well, I'm margin fishing with it. 6 pound line straight through. Barbless hook there. You use what you want, 12, 14. Well, you're a little bit bigger with these bits of mussel baits. I might fish them as half baits, I might fish them as whole. The prawns certainly, they'll take whole. And then I'm going to put a ledger rod out on a quiver tip, with just literally a BB shot and the hook there. Straight through, no hook links or anything like that. Going to be noisy, there's plenty of planes about today despite the wind. They're giving some thunder showers coming through, so I might have to move down a bit. We'll see what we can do. So first, let's get some of these prawns out. Now, these are really good for perch, no question. In the winter, back end of winter probably, February time in the UK. Generally whole, fish those whole. I'm going to throw a few of those in. I'm going to save the hot dogs, well basically because it's my food for tonight. And there's the mussels there, as you can see. Now I'll tell you another one, you can get mixed seafood in the supermarkets as well. Sometimes with lots of different shellfish. And a friend Jerry used to use cockles a lot. Now cockles are a really renowned bait for tench and carp, they're really good. But these are mussels, I might try them whole. Quite, not for a big carp, they'll suck that back. But I might have to scissor those in half. Let's get a few in, a couple of swims. I'm going to throw a few of these scissored up in the other swim next to me. It's the other side of the lily pad, because I think the juice might come out of the mussels a bit more if it's cut up. And scatter a few prawns in there as well. One side, one the other. That way the swims are, these are peg, it's a match swim, so there's no question I hopefully should catch. I said that, why did I say that? The lilies are just there, so I'm going to scatter a few down there. Yeah, I think I'll probably put a ledger rod here as well to try it. And a float just down there. I don't think it matters. Normally you'd be fishing close to the lilies. I really don't think it matters here. It's, you know, it's a stock water for match fishing. Long narrow lake. I feel sure that they're going to stumble across it sooner or later. Let's get them scissored up. So in fairness, they should sink, but they might have a bit of air in them. I just figure if I put some small pieces in first, like this, especially with the mussels, they're all soft, they're for human consumption, straight out the supermarket. And I can cut the prawns in half. That way at least I catch a fish, if it's a sort of £1/2 carp. I don't think it will be, some decent carp in here. Now these are much softer than the mussels. And because guys, if you're sea fishing from a boat, not for shore fishing, it'd be a bit, you can elasticate them on. They're very, very good for wrasse and mussels. Bit expensive buying them obviously from a supermarket like that. So I'm just going to throw those in. Again, let a little bit of juice come out. I'm figuring literally just down here. So there's the prawns. And this is my chopped up mussel, which I'm going to go a little bit further over, and I'm going to ledger with those. That gives them a bit of a taste. If they stir on the bottom, you might even see them mudding up. So let's get the rods and try this swim first. Actually, it's a bit windy for filming down the other one, even with the umbrella up. So there's the prawn is just rolled around the bend of the hook. I'm just going to drop it down here. I've got a bite indicator as well, so you guys better keep an eye on the rod as well while I sort the float rod out. Just keep it down low. Okay, somebody watch that one. I'm going to get a float and get a half a mussel. These are fairly tough, so you can sort of go in, roll the hook out, a bit like lunch meat really. Roll it around, just get the point of the hook out. Like that, and that sits nice and snug. I just kicked the rod then. Let's get this out. So where I'm standing at the moment, I can actually see the float, but I can see that out the corner of my eye as well if I just tighten up to it. There we go. Or indeed, if you lay the rod down, put it on loose drag or anti-reverse. Put that down for a second while it gets sorted. Oh, float's going. Come on. That's muscle for you guys. That's muscle. My God, that didn't take long, did it? Nice mirror. I'm fairly sure nobody has ever fished mussel in this lake. So it should be something of a first. It's here. One fish to the mussel. So there we go, typical match carp. That one's actually nice condition, look. Little split on the back of the fin. So, yuck. Mussel straight into it. Now that could have been the fact that it was close to those lilies, I have to say. No heavy baiting. You saw me just throw a scattering in there. The same here. And I can always... Oh, there's a bite, there's a bite, there's a bite. Oh, I missed it. There was indeed, guys, a bite on that one. One thing I will say is with the prawn, it is quite soft, so even if you fish a whole one, you can still get it chewed off the hook. I find both these baits fish better on the bottom. Half a segment of mussel out with the float. I will say that was a very positive take. I might be a tad over depth there with the float. Oh, somebody watch this rod. Yeah, I might be a tad over the depth. Let's move it up there. You guys might be able to see the float as well. And I'll scissor a few more prawns up. Of course, you could mix this with ground bait and whatever you wanted, but it's sort of defeating the object for me showing you this. I'm just trying to show you that fish will take these baits, supermarket baits. Wouldn't surprise me. Oh, I had a take and it's come in shore. And listen, you'll get small fish as well chewing on these roach. But generally the mussel is the good one for the tension of carp. There's a bite just occurring on the float. It could be line bites where they're swirling around, so I'll put a few more mussels in there. Oh Jesus, the rod's going, guys. Listen, Smith, you're supposed to be watching that. Now, that's 2-0 to the mussels. I've barely thrown 6 or 8 cut up segments in, and I was just getting ready then to put another half dozen in. It's another mirror. It's nice to catch the mirrors instead of the commons all the time. There you go. I'm fairly sure I was going to say something else, but I'm fairly sure the prawns work as well. Let's pull that back a bit for you. My God, the wind's going down. Not. Slightly bigger fish. This is a bigger fish. Common, as we said about commons, it's a much bigger one. Wow, he's a goer, this one. Oh, that's a nice common. Oh, he pinged off. That was about £7, that one, guys. Hopefully somebody there saw the tape. There we go again. Straight away with a whole prawn. Now this time, somebody please keep an eye on the rod, because I've got to get this mussel out. That's 2-1. There's the mussels again, snip them up. That's not a bite, that's me kicking the rod. I'm fairly sure they're eating those mussels straight away, people. what there is about them, because they have never seen a mussel before, have they? I mean, it's bizarre. Keep on that ledger rod. Oh, Jesus, right, he's come off. Well, you can almost call that 2-2. 2 to the prawn, 2 to the mussels. Just for those who are interested, I go in the thin end first and roll it around and try and just get the hook point out like that, just halfway up, and sort of bend it straight without breaking it. There we go. Somebody watch it. Float's dragging out of position. Oh, it's gone. I missed it. Oh, Jesus. I said somebody watch the ledger rod, please. Listen, if you want me to bring you fishing again, you're going to have to listen. And there will be questions after this, and probably some homework. Looks like small common. People, there's no ground bait at all being used. Well, there you go. I rest my case, Your Honour. I've gone to a whole mussel now. I've got to put the rod down to get the prawn out. I'd say it's not very deep, 30 inches, something like that here. Out we go. I've got a bite straight away on the float after throwing those freebies in. Gonna balance it up equally, a few more prawns. Oh. Dad. As I'm playing the fish and watching the float at the same time. There's the bite. Another bite. Watch it. It had to happen. It had to happen. Early on the Totally Awesome Tangle Show. TAT, Totally Awesome Tangles. Will we get one? Will we get both? Will we get none? Right. We generally do big game fishing. If you get a double hook up a decent fish, at least drag off on one. In this case, put my foot on the rod. It will happen to other people. And try and get the inshore one first, the one closest to the bank. Common. If the other one falls off, it falls off. He's still going at the moment. He's in. Probably unhook him in the mat. Move that over. And he's still on. Might be a tad bigger, this one. Might be a tad bigger. Think of the match when they're going to try using this now on this lake. Yeah, it's a bit bigger fish. Yeah, much bigger. Don't ping off this one, guy. He's in. Oh, oh, happy days. Oh. Guys, that's a nice carp. There we go. Nice common carp. Pleased with that one, people. Oh, I've got to get a bait in the water, but which one? Which one? What you can also do is go through this looking for, look, broken sections. Rather than scissor them up, you might want to keep the good ones for hook bait, and any busted or broken ones like this, keep those for loose feed. Now probably there's another piece that I've now got. That's a good one, don't waste that one or that one. I've got enough there just to throw a little bit in for an attractant. Let's get it out there. I think you're getting the idea about checking out your local supermarkets and see just what is available. And how bizarre a bait can you catch fish on. Once again on the prawns it's good, but personally I think maybe these fished whole for the bigger carp. Float fishing in the margins, they're not a distant bait at all, of course they're not. But they are a little bit oh Jesus. They are I can say a little bit tougher than the prawns, but if the prawns are catching the fish, why change? Put that one down there. I'm leaving that purposely so the YouTubers can watch that one. You guys in there, watch that rod while I sort the float out. I've snipped up another load of mussels. In they go. Now you don't have to put a shot for the ledger rod there that you're looking at. You don't have to put a single BB on there. You fish according to the conditions. It might be a treble A, you know, if it's very, very windy. It might be a link ledger, it might be a running lead, you know, wait. Just watch that, because I'm float fishing there, guys. Oh, I told you, you people won't listen to me. Now I've missed a float. The float's out. You're still on. Well, the mussels started off well, but the prawns have come back strong. There's a bite on the float bumping. It could be liners. Come on, come on, come on. I'm watching the float as well. Look, I'm doing this as an illustration, people. Obviously, if it's this frantic on these two baits, you really only need one rod. Out we go. Oh, float's gone. Missed him. And he's up the tree, and they're stinging at us. Happy days. I can't do everything. The trouble is, most of us probably are slightly drawn to float fishing. Floats on, floats on. I was looking at the lilies then, guys. I wasn't even looking at the float. I just looked around and there was a hole in the water. smallmouth, £3, something like that. That was a bite, I think, on the ledge rod. Yes. Oh. I don't know, I'm going to carp fish all night. Almost hope I only get one run. Mussel again. The mussel, when they get on it, is pretty deadly. As is the prawn. Well, I can't sort of take too much more of this, people. I think I'm going to go to the hot dog segments for a bit of a rest. Or not. What do you think? Let me know in the comments while I'm playing this fish whether you think hot dogs segments are going to be any good. I think you guys will be up there emptying the supermarkets for seafood for certain. And as I say, try cockles. Jerry always did good on cockles. I personally favour prawns because you could pick up a jumbo perch. I'm all covered and splattered in slime and stuff. Fish scales, mussel juice, prawn juice. So I'm going to open up those hot dogs. And to keep it fair, you saw I was prawn in there. Way to the left was the mussels. I'm going to try a totally different swim for hot dogs. So if I don't eat them first. Oh, the wind's come back up. It's pretty. I wanted some black over there. I've got a great screen here and I've got the umbrella up for the sound. That swim was ideal, to be honest. A little bit shady, but I'm going to try here and just fish probably both side by side now. So I'll stake up the camera round about here so you've got a sort of down sun angle. I might have a cup of tea first. Exhausted. Now then, you could buy tin frankfurters as well. They'll be cheaper than these, but I was eating these, or will be eating these tonight hopefully, if they don't sit in the sun all day. They are slightly better quality, I feel, but they are firm, if that makes sense, because you're going to have to strike the hook through them. And rarely, well, it does happen, but rarely do they actually hook themselves. Occasionally they probably will do. I've said that, you know, here, but they probably will do in here because it's a mash fish water. And I find segments, where's my scissors? I've got to get away from those mussels, they're just too good. Let's use this lid. Small segments like this, that you can scissor them, you can use a knife. They're like little discs, and I'll show you how to put the hook in. Gives you enough for loose feed, but these ones, if you get tin ones, I find they are a little bit softer. And a decent size, I'm going to show you in a second. That size for barbel, I've caught many barbel on that size. On average, I'm going to say that would be a good size, but I'm using small pieces so that at least I can get the chance of a bite. It may not be anything like as good as the prawns and the mussels, because they're seafood and this is meat food. I might as well cut them all up now and it's done. And I put them in through the edge of the skin. I'll show you. Now you think there's only 3 hot dog segments here, or 3 hot dogs. I'm cutting in 2 segments, but as you can see, they do make quite a lot of baits. So there you go. Hopefully you can see that in the sunlight. We're going to put those so I don't lose them. Let's chuck some in there, just on the edge of the lilies, and see if we can't get something to come out and take them. Now I've got some stuff down there which I'm going to take up there, and I'm going to put it in fairly dry, and it is really good for surface feeding fish. Now, we're here to talk about 3 of the greatest supermarket baits ever. Well, 2 at the moment, isn't that? In goes the hook, and you'll notice I've put it through the meat to meat, not the edge. If you want to cast a lot further, put it through the skin. That gives you a bit more biteability. Just flick it out. As per usual, you people are going to be watching it. Please, a piece of hot dog segment on the float. Nothing moving in front of me. I've already plumbed the depth. It's at least that depth. And what you have to do, you have to allow for the weight of the piece of cube you're using. So if you are using a very, very sensitive, what I call dippy float, takes hardly anything, you know, shotted right down, pipped down, you might find it sinks all the time, especially in windy conditions, with the weight of the bait. So there we are. Now this could be a lot more of a waiting game, because I've literally just chucked those in as you've seen it. I'm not in the same swim, because they will be up there smelling that. There is a smell coming off of these hot dogs. There is a definite smell to them, and I feel that is what attracts them. So fish move down in the rushes there. I might chuck a few down there just in case they're hiding in the rushes as well as under the lilies. So I've got to now wait till the fish come out. Oh, I've already had a tap on that one. That was a liner. If you can see, there's a hump of water moving across there, and that's because he's bumped into the line, spooked and moved, giving me what I call a false bite. I really need a second rod rest, I think, so I can put this down. So I want a cup of tea, my throat's going. Right, somebody watch both the ledger rod and the float rod for me, please. There we go, glasses on. Oh, that's better. I can see where the lake is. What's not good when you're doing this, especially barbel fishing, I just had a bite on the float. What's not good are dog walkers. I assure you, not the dog walker, but the dogs do enjoy the smell of hot dog segments on a tray like that from at least 40 yards away. So if they're, like invariably people don't have them on a lead, they're loose, you'll look around and do expect this lot to be noshed down in about 2 to 3 gulps. Bite on the float again. See, it's a harder bait. It's not soft like the prawn, it's not soft like the mussel. Ideally, I would be doing this, be holding it, waiting for the float to go. The ledger rod in this sort of case is almost a bonus. Right, I shall click off until such time I have some action. Look, I just threw some down. I'm going to put that float down there. I don't care. I did see about there. I did throw a few pieces down there. I don't suppose you guys will see it. I could just see the float on the edge of the rush. Quite a handy little float for this margin fishing in no wind. It's only, oh man, it's getting banged around there. Might be roach or something banging it as well. Oh, now you saw that was a pull down, maybe in the camera, I don't know, but because it's a hard bait, pops out their mouth, whereas the prawns and the mussels are soft, they can pull it and they hold it. The hook pulls through easier. They're a harder bait, so you saw I need either a bolt rig there, or you need to be holding the rod, or indeed you can have a running ledger, something like that. I'd say he's had that bait off. I'm going to leave my float rod there, so I'm right on top of it. I'm winding slowly. Now the bait has, no, it's still there, the bait. Now if I'd been holding it, I probably would have got the fish, because I could have struck. I'm very surprised I haven't had a take on the drop. Well, I'm getting all sorts of bites on the float in there. I'm sort of not sure they're carp. If they are, they're digging around, or they're not liking the actual harder side of the hot dog, because it's, again, a bait that probably wouldn't be used in there much. Now, a way around that skin is you can get a penknife, and or indeed a scissors, and you can peel the edge off the skin. I'll show you what I mean. Let's put that in the rest. And just get a big piece like this. Where's my knife? It's a wonder I find anything in a box like that. Oh, I just had a monumental bite because it's come right inshore. Inshore. That's why I threw the others further. That's why I threw the others further over that way. Right, you can see that's a bigger piece. That's what I call chub size. Just run a little split through the skin, and very carefully with a flat blade. This is blunt, this knife, by the way. I peel the skin off, I throw it in, it will probably float and be eaten by a carp. And then I put that on, and as you can see, look, it's a lot more squishy. So there's carp down there, look. Right there. I thought I did see fish moving there. So let's change that off, get that one off with the skin on it. Give it to them as a freebie. Oh, that cloud's a black cloud. And this time I'm just pushing the hook in. Like that. So it's soft all around now. And I will, I think, endeavour to do that with the ledger rod as well. I'm getting bites. Straight away, my goodness me, what a good job I didn't turn the camera off. You guys are saying, oh, he's faked it. No, I didn't. I peeled that one and I got the bite straight away. Common carp. Common as muck. I'm going to replumb that, I think, because that there's a lot of mud stirred up there. And I figure it might actually be more shallow than where the lilies are. So hot dogs work as well. If Barb will eat them chub and tench, there's no surprise with the carp. He's in. Is anybody keeping count of the number of fish we get in on supermarket bait? But it's not the size of the fish, people. It's showing you, hopefully, different ideas, different methods, you know, different baits. It's up to you, really, what you fancy using. Look, 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 look. Oh dear. Oh, he pinged off. That's probably not a bad thing. So I'm going to peel another one of those. Skin them, we used to call them, skin them. Skin them alive. My problem being, I've got to make sure I keep enough for eating tonight, because it's dark early this time of year. So just push in like this. Hopefully you'll get in that. Just push it in. I mean, that was pretty instantaneous, that. And again, you know, I was fishing over by the lilies because it's a natural sort of area for fishing. I changed immediately I saw a fish, and that's what you've got to do. In fishing, you need to be able to adapt and change. And if you see something different happening or fish moving, I always find getting a bait on them ASAP or in that area can generally get you a take. I'm watching the float while I'm doing this, people. In it goes. Just push it. If I went crossways, it would be a little bit stronger. Whoa. Looked around and there's a hole in the water where the float was. That wind is really coming up now. I'm looking at the weather as well, and I got a feeling, looking at that lot going over there, I've got a feeling I'm going to get blasted. Let's have a look up here. It's as black as you want through there. They did say fast thunder. Oh, where did that one go? Up the tree. Fast showers, thunder showers going through. Oh, it's just changing to a float that's heavier because of the wind, and the ledger rod's taken off. 10. Got a nice little common carp for you. I think I might even be going down to the one rod because it's obviously going to get manic. Well, it's pretty well howling now, so it's giving me a chance to upgrade my float, which now takes what, 3 or 4 shots because it's blasting. Get yourself a plumb bob weight. I just go, mine is about, I don't know, 45 years old. So it will sink, right? It just go down, it pulls the float straight under. I mean, that's barely the depth there, to be honest, in fairness, but we're always fishing out there. I did think it might be a bit shallow. It's pulled it under, so I guess it is about 6-inch segments, so you can shallow it up by. Now you can either release a shot and repinch them, or you can gently move them up like this. If they're really tight, they might fracture your line, so be very careful doing this. There you are, that's shot it about right, but I also want to make sure with this wind, if the bait, there's the lake bed, here's the float, I don't want it dragging along like this. I'd soon have a little bit laying like this up to the float so it is absolutely on the bottom. So I'm going to go a little bit more there, so I know there's a, what I call a bit of a hang, you know, it's just hanging on the bottom. Off comes the plumb bob weight, and on goes. My God, it's howling. This is, I'm telling you guys, about the only swim worth fishing. It's ripping over there, all the way down there. It's like a tsunami at the other end. I know people say, oh, you need to fish on the wind, fish into the wind. Fish on into the wind, it's about 40 knots down there. I'd sooner fish under the rushes. So, here we go, peeling the, you don't have to do this, but I did have a couple of bangs, and this is my way around it. When you get this, it just makes that outside bait a little bit softer. And this one, I put the hook this side like I do for barbel fishing, and just left the point the other side. I'm going to do the same with the isofish move there. I'm going to do the same with the ledger rod. Oh, it's cold. I don't know how I'm going to survive tonight. This will probably be, without a shadow of a doubt, my last all-nighter. I've done hardly any this year. This is as I make this film. Out we go. So in this case, maybe with the wind, if it starts dragging the float out, you will be better off fishing with a ledge. Oh, float's gone. Missed it, he spat it out. It happens. Fishing with a link ledge or something on the bottom to counteract any drift, if that makes sense. I don't think he's had the bait off. You never know. No, he hasn't had the bait off. I'll show you what he has done. Oh, here comes the rain. I thought I'd get pasted. Look how he's pulled it down on the hook. Can you see that against the sky there? That's not good. So you want to push it in, and to save using another bait, turn it on the other side and tap it so it's buried it. That way you get a second go at a bait that's been almost pulled off the hook. I'm going to have to hide behind this umbrella soon, guys. All my gear is going to get wet, cameras, everything. Look at that lot coming. God, you got to love the English weather, haven't you? The worst one is the very light drizzle. Oh, I missed a bite then. I saw the tip springy. Very light drizzle. You think, oh, it's not too bad actually. No. You're going to get soaked, and I've got to watch myself. If I get damp on my clothes, and I feel it already. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's not looking good. If I get damp already, and then I have to stay overnight, and it's 2 degrees above freezing, that is an excellent chance of hypothermia. And at my senior years, trust me, I know I don't need it. The trouble is I can't stop fishing. There he goes. Small one. Is that a crucian? My God, oh. Nah, that's got to be just a... Another common. Small one. That's about the smallest fish of the day. £1.5. The day. I've only been here 2 hours. He's in. Well, I'm actually hunkered down under the umbrella, guys, otherwise I can't talk and I can barely hold the body up. It doesn't look it here, but it is very windy. So I switched down, got the ledge rod out of the way. I'm just watching the float down there now. There's a fish right behind it. I see the swirl. He's probably followed that down. That's on a tiny, tiny disc of hot dog segment with, I hasten to add, the skin on. This brolly, people asked me about this before, it must be, God, it must be 3, but I'll tell you what, I think it's 6 feet span across. It's about 50 years old. It's like a plasticky type material. Got a few holes in it now, bits of tape I put on there. It's been a godsend, especially me. Oh, how did I miss that one? Especially filming as well. So the fish are still there. They're still feeding. I'm just hoping this lot blows through because I don't want to have to pack up. Nobody likes packing up, do they? When it's grotty weather. You have to put all the gear away wet. There's a carp just showing there. I'm basically just letting this camera run at the moment. Very often you'll see this sort of action with the float, and that's where they're around there bumping it. It can be small fish like roach banging at the bait, it's too big for them. It can also be tench carp, crucian carp, anything digging around, or the crucian carp's not exactly an aggressive feeder like the perhaps tench and carp are. Oh, that's 2 I've missed. Do you know what? I'm going to cut one of those in half in case there's something bizarre like big roach in there. You can see, look guys, there's 3 supermarket baits that all catch fish. I'm going to go and peel half of the half down, because that's about 1, 2, 3. I probably missed 4 bites, I would say. And I just pushed it into the meat there, so it's kind of hanging, as it were. You can use luncheon meat, of course you can, I've used it, everybody does. But hot dogs are much, much softer, I find, than some of the luncheon meats. And margin fishing, you don't really you don't want a firm hard bait, you want something that you can strike through, or the fish piles away and it might get lucky and it hooks yourself. That's quite a decent carp just drifted through the swim then. So this is my last piece of hot dog segment. I've got to keep some for food tonight. Well, I've gone back to hot dog segments with the skin on, and I'm getting those dippy bites. So I'll probably have to sacrifice part of my tea and skin another hot dog just to get it suitable for the fish to take. Generally, you don't have to. Look, generally I'd be piling ground bait in there. The fish will be rampantly feeding, and it wouldn't matter whether you had skin on it or not. It's only when they're twitchy, like now, because I'm not using any ground bait or other attractor, I'm using tiny pieces of hot dog segment, that you sort of nip and tuck the changes, and just skinning it has made a difference. And the rain seems like it's setting in. Do I go home, scrub it tonight as a night drip, or do I tough it out? It's a big fish lake, so it's a one bite wonder, but it's how cold do I want to be for 9 hours of darkness. Well, that was a bit of fun, wasn't it? And that is what it's about. Fishing should be fun. Just get out there, go up to the supermarket. When you're up there, scout around, have a look, see what you fancy using as a bait. Something different, you know, something weird and wacky, see if you can catch a fish on it. It's fun, just pass through the time. Now it's a question of up and away. Yes, let's go and see what sort of airplane I've found on my travels. You think the engines are big on that? It's true, the engines on Concorde are ridiculous. It says Rolls-Royce SNECMA Olympus 593. Oh, we're going underneath the Concorde. This is definitely the closest I've been to Concorde. I'm not paying £11.50 for a flight when they're done. And you can see there, danger jet blast. Maybe this is the engines from Concorde. I'd say it is. Look at the double scoops they've got, how huge they are. Actually, you think it's a small aircraft when you go underneath it. There, looking down the front. They're fighter jets and stuff. Look, there's the fighter jet size. I'm not even by the wheels yet of Concorde. It's that big. Now here are the engines, they are just ridiculous. Absolutely. How can they design those and engineer them is beyond me. Marvellous piece of technology. You think technology is good, wait till you see this. This. Now then, Mr. Pullen, to pass your electrical and hydraulic exam, could you tell us exactly what the blue wire is, and James Bond, do we cut the yellow wire or the green wire? Which one? I'm going to walk you down this. Somebody has to understand this, that's a scary thing. One wire can destroy it. One pipe not working, one pipe leaking, one wire shorting out. It is so unbelievably scary. Look at that. I've just had my seat called, guys. It's going to be noisy, it's good. That's the way it is. I'm just on my way to New York. Actually, it is small inside when you look, isn't it? You can see here, this was a sort of space. I guess I just had two here, two there, so it's a very narrow aircraft. When you look at it, that is the fuselage here. I'm going over the top. I don't see a lot of room up there for overhead lockers. But that was all the rage. Look, first class, very expensive. Bottle of Moët Chandon there. There's the Concorde menus because it was famous for food, but it is very, very, very small. I mean, this must have been some sort of test one, look. Look at the banks of testing equipment here. And you talk about the wiring looms, look at all the wiring looms here, just to give you an idea. Yeah. Definitely a test one. But there is the outside of the fuselage, so it tells me, look, from there, just across to there. Look at these wiring looms. I mean, just like unbelievable. They're showing you samples of everything here. This is obviously for the public. There's all the various oxygen bottles. Look, we all do that when we have to be pressurised, I suppose. Part of the testing. Alpha Delta Yankee, yes please, I'll have a sausage sandwich and a hot tea. Well, it's certainly a long aircraft. And there you can see, up the front, which is padlocked, is, wow, quite a tiny cockpit, isn't it? When you think of the speed they were doing. That's the number of it, look. Pilot and co-pilot, and that's it. For testing, I guess. Not big at all, not big at all. To be honest, you're sat there, you can't see anything. I just realised if you're sitting there, what can you see? You can't see anything at all, just the metal of the nose cone. So you have to trust the technology and the instrumentation in front of you. So there we go. You've been on Concorde. Or you've been on a Concorde. Well people, thanks for watching this episode. Hopefully it passed an hour. I've made nearly hour-long films for the last few months, I think. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to go and see Mike's TA Outdoors and The Life of Mike. And we'll see you in the next one. Who knows? I'm already starting work on it now. I've got plenty of fishing films to go up and plenty of random stuff as well. Stay safe, catch a few fish, enjoy it, and let's hope we get some rain to sparkle up and perk up those rivers. We'll see you in the next film.